All right, all right. Good to go, man. Playing us in.
We're good to go. Do it. Play the music.
Welcome to Earl and the Idiot, the show that gives you the answers you need to take your business to the next level. With Earl Flormata, one of Vancouver's most sought-after business and marketing consultants, author of Business Engine Optimization, consultant to over 60 successful businesses, an all-around evil marketing genius with a combined total of more than $70 million worth of sales to his credit. And some idiot. Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
There we go. My hand is perfectly matching the robot behind me.
You're
might be
mimicking
AI myself.
overlord. That's right.
That's weird. If I move a little bit closer, my wallpaper behind me or my background suddenly becomes part of my head. I gotta sit in exactly the right spot here so I don't.
It's the bubble of the headset. It doesn't know how to process the gap in between and just mucks everything up.
Yeah. What if I put my headphones on my?
There you go. See?
There we go. That's all better. Nice. You got it.
Yeah. I figured that out the hard way too. So
Hopefully my headphones stay on throughout the show.
there you go.
Hello, Earl. How are you doing?
I'm good. We missed the week because it was boat week. So
Yes. We gotta do more remotes. We gotta do more boat remotes.
boat remotes. Well, a buddy of mine named Ken out of Japan has this crazy setup. It's a little pricey. It's like 11, 15 grand, something like that. As my
Crazy.
business grows, I'm gonna grab one of these things, and it's a remote, like all-in-one setup in a suitcase. And you literally open up this thing, and it's like a Go box something something, and oh man, it's the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's got like lapel mics, lights, the whole shebang, everything all in a little kit. You just go and it's an instant studio in a box. And I'm like, I kind of want one. So
Nice. I like technology that makes everything into one thing.
mm,
Like it's like, okay, I want to broadcast a show. Great. So instead of buying 12 pieces of equipment that in four different boxes or whatever, yeah, one box, everything. That's great. I like I
correct.
like I like
Yeah.
technology I like it when they reduce the amount of things I have to carry around.
Well, kind of like how the iPhone came out and all of a sudden we don't need, 12 different things anymore, right?
Yeah, exactly. That was one I did like I jumped on that when smartphones came out. I was like, good, now I don't have to carry my phone and my Walkman or Discman or whatever. What was I carrying before that? I guess I had an iPod.
Yep. I had an iPod and this and that, and now the phone does everything. So there you go.
Isn't that crazy actually when you think about that? It's crazy to think the iPod, there's probably kids nowadays that like wouldn't know what an iPod is.
There's kids that don't know what a CD does.
Well, but you see, that's older technology than that.
Hmm.
Like CDs are now records, but the
Right.
iPod is now antiquated technology.
That is true. Absolutely.
You know, I haven't even thought about that. It's like all these things that I like, I consider the recent past are now like there's kids growing up and not even knowing it.
Hey man, I thought CDs that could play MP3s with an MP3 player off of a CD, like an old Discman that could play MP3s was like hot stuff. I'm like, hey, this is like the
Man, that was good.
newfangled technology. And it's like, oh man, that's really old now.
Do you
So
remember those? What were they the little? There were squares, but they had a disc inside. I forget what they were called.
what, like an 8 tracker?
No. Like after they're trying to come up with the next thing because everyone's like, okay, everyone's got
Oh,
CDs now. Now
the
we want to
super
make it
discs, those things.
super discs. Yeah,
Yeah,
those are
yeah.
pretty cool. They carry like 500 songs on them or something. It's like wow.
And then until they blew up, and then it's like, oh man, I lost all this stuff.
Yeah, it was kind of nice in a way that the next level because everyone was annoyed like, oh, I had everything on 8 track, then I had to buy it on record, and then I bought it on tape, and now I got to buy it on CD again. I was like, I'm tired of buying my catalog again. At least for once, technology didn't make us buy a whole new thing. It just said, we'll give you everything. You don't have to own anything.
Yeah, but then now it's on subscription, so now I owe Spotify $10 for the rest of my life, and I can listen to
Yeah,
whatever I want, but I don't really own anything. So there you go.
I was thinking about that too. Not to get off on this for too long, as we are prone to do,
Yeah,
but yeah, think about it. That's if you bought a new CD every month. It's
yeah.
less than a new CD every month. New CD's like $20. So it's like if you bought a new CD every month, that's only 12 CDs by the end of the year.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's fair. It's fair. I do sort of inherently dislike the idea of like, oh, we're going to force you to pay us every month, but I think we're getting plenty for it. I got my podcasts and stuff too, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I do listen to a lot of podcasts and I listen to a lot of just different music. So yeah, I guess it is worth it overall.
Hmm. Okay, but we immediately just got off target. Let's welcome everybody to the show and introduce everyone who may not know what our concept is here or why I'm such an idiot. Um, so the show is called Earl and the Idiot. We have here Earl, as you might have heard in the introduction, as long as you're actually watching the whole thing and not just a clip you found on YouTube. Um, Earl is a genius, an evil marketing genius, as it were, who's become since a business consultant. And whenever I talk to Earl, I he's always got answers for everything. And just when I think I know something, Earl knows something even better than what I know. And talking to him, I always felt like he has a tendency, although he's a totally nice guy and very, very kind and very forgiving, you tend to come away feeling like a bit of an idiot because Earl knows everything better than you do. And so we decided to call our show Earl and the Idiot because I can sit here and I'm free to be an idiot. I'm free to not know what I'm talking about or ask dumb questions. And then Earl has all the answers. And we hope that the answers will help you grow your business. We hope it's stuff that you can use, maybe see things in a new way, come up with new ways of thinking, and succeed in business. How am I doing?
Yeah,
Pretty accurate?
the funny thing is, because everybody gave me the quote unquote evil marketing genius name, but it's just I had unfettered access to the internet and I'm not medicated for my ADHD. So I just go down rabbit holes all day long and just read about the craziest stuff and then tie it back to something else I'm working on. And then it's like, hey, look, you can do this over here. Watch this. And then now it's new. What's old is new again, right? So there you go.
And
That's my
so
superpower.
you that's your superpower. But you got that way by being able to admit that you didn't know stuff, right?
Well, I just Google till I can't anymore, and I just follow the dopamine until I run out. And that's it.
So I was just looking at the window. Suddenly, like it got super dark outside. It looks like it's gonna be a storm. Oh my gosh! You want to talk about unmedicated ADHD? This guy.
All right. Well, hopefully lightning doesn't hit before the show's done.
Yeah, if at all there's a white flash and I disappear, then you'll know what happened. So on our show, this is kind of ironic with given today's
I'm not sure if it's my internet or your
subject.
internet, but it's going real slow.
Oh, you're frozen. You're not even moving right now. Is the storm messing with us already? Oh, you're back. Can you hear me? Earl? Well, I don't even know if he's recording me or we're still streaming or what's going on.
All right.
All right.
We're back.
Here you are. You're back.
We're back. Hopefully we're still streaming. I think we're still streaming. I think we're still recording. Right when you said there's a storm coming, my internet just
There's a storm going.
I'm like, oh, that's good.
Oh, man.
All
right.
Lightning. See what you did there?
Yeah. Well, that's the power of words. I also made $1 million this year.
Oh, there you go.
So, yeah, I was just about to explain that on this show, and I said it was ironic given the topic we're covering today. We found the best thing to do is have AI write the show outline, the kind of talking points, and then we discuss them. We agree with them, disagree with them, and it's proven to be a good way to make a show. Easy, but also produces good shows because we're reacting rather than reading our own scripted stuff, which nobody wants to hear someone read scripted stuff unless you're a real A-level actor, which we are not.
Which we neither of us are. No. So
yeah, yet we'll get there.
Yet. So
yeah,
we'll see.
All right. So today we put into a prompt, and again, this is ironic, and also I always change my background to match the subject we're talking about because it helps you later when you're looking for that episode. What was that episode? Oh yeah, the robot behind him. You can see it in the thumbnail. We asked AI today to tell us, acting as an AI expert acting as an AI expert and as a marketing expert, double expert, how would you use AI to come up with the content ideas for marketing a business? Give me 3 examples of frameworks or models we could use, 2 things to avoid, and 1 red hot tip to use AI to create content for a small business. So I tried creating this image using AI of an AI reading content created by an AI for a show about written by AI, talking about AI creating content for AI. So this is really
Very, very
this is
meta.
multiple levels of AIception. Because I asked it to make me a news anchor, a robot news anchor, giving the news.
I like him. Looks cool.
He's really cute. He looks like an 8-track or a cassette, which is awesome. I said retro 50s style, so I think it really nailed it.
The
It's
fact
just,
that the eyes aren't level is hilarious. I like that.
oh yeah, nice. I was hoping what I wanted was an AI guy facing the camera with a square beside him, with the news, the story, and
Hmm.
he's holding the papers or whatever. It wouldn't give me that. Actually, it sort of did, but it just looked like a guy in a suit with a Daft Punk style robot head.
No, there. I like this guy better. I think
This guy
this
better.
was the right choice.
All right. So let's see what AI has to tell us about AI using AI to generate content by AI. Leveraging AI for generating content, ideas, and marketing combines the analytical prowess of artificial intelligence with the creative and strategic aspects of marketing. Here are some frameworks and models that can be utilized, along with things to avoid and a red hot tip for small business. All right. Okay. GPT, Generative Pre-trained Transformer. Is that what it stands for?
Yeah, that's a chat GPT. Yep.
I thought it stood for something different. Wouldn't that be funny if AI got that wrong? So, using GPT models for idea generation. Use case. Utilizing models like GTP3 or GTP4 for brainstorming content ideas, headlines, or even writing initial drafts for blogs, social media posts, and email marketing campaigns. By inputting a brief description of your business, products, and target audience, these models can generate a variety of content ideas that are tailored to your business's tone and objectives. Benefits. It's weird. Saves time, provides a wide range of creative ideas, and helps overcome writer's block.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. It's kind of eerie now. Like you don't just ask a single question and then just base out your entire finality off of that one question. You can get because GPT technologies is conversational, right? Like that was the whole purpose behind Chat GPT and OpenAI type technologies. So you could talk to the darn thing, right?
Mhm.
And so when you ask it, hey, ask me some questions. This is what I want. It'll ask you questions and it'll formulate the answers based off the questions. And if you pre-populate it with demographic data prior to, it'll pull the demo data, ask the questions, apply the questions to the demo, and then spit out something miraculous. So I'm actually speaking tomorrow at an event. That's my third time talking about the same subject of like deep usage of like a quote unquote deep usage of AI, and it's just asking like three questions in between stuff to output a better answer. And so GPT is really good at that because it's conversational. It'll remember what you said before in like a previous statement, and you can build upon that statement to keep growing the model. So yeah,
So I'm
absolutely.
I'm a, I'm an idiot. So can you give me an example of what you mean, how that would play out?
So you talk about you ask it to build a persona. Okay. So in
Okay.
marketing, we talk about a marketing persona. Who are we targeting? Right. So because a male persona versus a female persona versus a child persona, it's a very different marketing tactic, a very different message, right? When you talk about selling a toy as an example, you talk about how fun the toy is, how cool it is to kids, right? But to the parents, you talk about how educational it is and how much further your kid will be ahead if they play with this toy and how smart they'll be, right?
How
So
how much it'll stop them from bothering you for hours on end?
that's the sell to the dad.
Oh yeah, got to get the right
Oh,
persona.
oh, yeah, but exactly. You give this to your child and watch them babysit themselves for 45 minutes. Every guy's gonna buy one, right? Like I'll take 12, right? So the thing is like that's the persona, and you can ask it to generate a persona based on a particular target demographic. Like, I want to sell cookies. The people I want to sell cookies to are gluten intolerant, da 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 da, on a diet, et cetera. Give me a target market for that stuff, and it'll give you a target market, an age range, a demographic, a sex, whatever, and information about what do they like, what do they not like, what keeps them awake at night. It's kind of scary when you ask it one of these prompts, and then when you ask it to build something off of that data set, it gets real narrow and gets more specific. So the messaging is so much tighter and better. And that's what you get out of a GPT model, right? You can give it information, have a discussion with it, and then hone what comes out of it. And that's what makes, a GPT model so powerful, right? So yeah, I agree with that. I agree where it says the draft for the blog, but not the actual blog. Because it can't write completely like a human yet. It's come a long way in the last little while, but it's not perfect yet. Social media posts, actually, it's really damn good at the short style
Yeah.
post. It's not good at the long style post. Email marketing, actually, it's spot on now. Like you can actually just steal from Chat GPT, and, like verbatim, and the email campaigns work now. So there's some stuff it's really good at, like pulling headlines, but some stuff it's not really good at yet, like writing entire blog posts. But stuff
Mhm.
in between, like, hey, write me a short 30-second script for an Instagram reel. It's eerily good now. So there's that
But
weird half space in between.
you still got to curate, right?
You still have to curate it. You still have to feed it stuff so that it kind of targets who you want. But if you prepend it with that market demographic data and then you ask it to do an action step, you get a little bit of magic now.
Hmm. Now, what about the fact this may, be beyond the scope of what we're talking about here, but AI is getting a reputation for manufacturing data that is not correct.
Hmm. That's why you use it for brainstorming and for ideation, right? Because
Hmm.
there there are new AIs out there. I think I just bought one that'll actually find sources and citations. So when you're writing a
Okay.
paper, it'll actually do the citations for you. So if you're writing like a professional paper and you have to, cite the sources, it actually will pull the information, grab the snippet, and give you the citation so you have the link to where it came from. So that way you can ascertain if that data source is credible to whatever you're trying to pull or not, right? So if you like that data source, keep the citation. If you don't like the data source, or you're writing this for your professor and your professor hates that guy, maybe
Hmm.
not use that one, you know?
All right. I thought I had a brilliant question there for a second, but it immediately flitted out of my head. So let's move on to the next point.
Sure.
It'll come back to me. So BERT, bidirectional encoder representations from transformers. Do you know what that is? I've never heard of that.
Yes. I used to
Hmm.
use BERT AI
Is
stuff
this Bert?
before.
Is this Bert back here?
I will name him BERT.
We should keep this guy. We should make him the representative of the AI part of the show.
There you go.
Hmm.
When we make the website, finally, one of these days, we'll have
Hmm.
Earl, we'll have Dan, and then we'll have Bert. Who the hell is Bert? Oh, he was
Yeah.
from episode 112 or something. So
Yeah. Okay. So what is Bert?
so Bert, you want to read the thing or do you want me to talk about it?
No, I want you to tell me what Bert is. Like, it doesn't define it here. It just says to
So
use it.
BERT is a different model of AI. So we have like the OpenAI, ChatGPT, GPTs type models of AI that you can talk to, and it can extrapolate, and it's better at like conversational stuff. BERT is different. It's more analytical. It's more it can the way that it works. Okay, so I'll get slightly technical, but I'll explain it simply.
If
What BERT
if it goes over the audience's head, that's what I'm here for. I'll stop you if it stops making sense.
Oh no, this is pretty simple. From a
Okay.
programmatic stance, BERT reads it from left to right and then from right to left. And then when it reads it like that, it can understand sentiment. GPT only reads left to right, and that's it. So from a conversational understanding standpoint, GPT only does one pass, where BERT does two passes, right? So what BERT could be used for is analysis. So I'll give you an example. Like a buddy of mine
Please.
has a um you're gonna laugh at this. And this was the birth of the newsletter that we're putting together. Um
Yeah.
he has a company that creates numerology and astrology type readings. And the AI he uses is actually BERT based. Because what happens is that it
Okay.
reads it backwards and forwards and ascertains whether or not it's a positive or negative outcome. Hey, is this good or is this bad? And when he does that, that this helps him better choose products to promote inside of the emails. Because if it's a good thing, you promote things that make you happy. If it's a bad thing, you promote things that prevent you from getting hurt,
Hmm.
right?
So is this like there was that Cambridge, I think it was called Cambridge Analytics scandal? Or no. No, it was there was a thing where Facebook was found to be running experiments on their users, where they were highlighting and showing them more sad stuff for a couple of weeks first, and some people were seeing more happy stuff for a couple of weeks, and then they were observing their behavior. Is
Yeah,
that the sort of thing that Bert would do?
you
Like
would
they,
use the BERT to ascertain if it was happy or sad,
hmm,
right? There was this stock group that I worked with way back when, and what it did was it ascertained whether or not the market sentiment for a stock was happy or sad, or good or bad, or positive or negative, and they traded based on that market sentiment that was out there on the market. So people would talk about this stuff in, good old Yahoo Finance, and the comment space in the forums, it would read all these things and say yay or nay, and it would give you a position based on whether it was, positive or negative or don't move. And that
hmm,
that was using a BERT style analysis because it can see if something is happy or sad,
wow, that's interesting.
right?
I think that's a good way to invest in stock because it's like the public perception of it is what really matters because that's whether people buy it or sell it, right?
Right. And this is an oversimplification of the models, but like I don't need to, you shouldn't have to have a PhD to watch our show. So there you go.
Okay, so what is let's see what AI tells us, what ChatGPT tells us Bert's use case is. Implement BERT-based tools for optimizing your content for search engines. These tools can suggest keywords, analyze the relevance of your content to your target audience's search queries, and provide insights on improving your content's SEO ranking. Benefits enhances content visibility online and drives organic traffic to your business's website.
Huh.
So is
Never,
this like is that
never thought.
Inkscape or
Well,
not Inkscape, Ink for All?
Ink for All, I guess, yeah, actually, Ink for All would be using a BERT style thing. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. I never realized, I just never put any thought to it. Hey, do I want to use GPT or do I want to use BERT for SEO analysis? And yeah, I would go with BERT for analysis, and I would go with GPT for ideation and content, like just brainstorming.
Right. Okay, because BERT does this bidirectional thing and you
Yeah,
can tell what it's.
there you
So
go.
what are some BERTs like if I want to use BERT, who do I talk to?
Funny, Google has something called Google BERT. And funny enough, it's got a picture of like Bert for Bert and Ernie on it. And so, yeah, so Google has a Bert model. There's a bajillion Bert models. So yeah, there's just Google Bert AI, and you'll find like a bunch of Bert AI engines that do usually analysis
Why are BERT uh, engines less famous than GPT engines?
because you can talk to a GPT engine. GPT engine is more conversational. Like any old person can grab a GPT and become useful almost immediately. Bert, you need to be a little more nerdy and technical to be able to use one.
All right. Um, so you would use this basically, like any other use for it other than SEO, like checking your content for SEO compatibility.
You can use it for content for SEO. I never really put any thought into, hey, so I guess we're using BERT already. But using it for sentiment analysis was what I typically used it for. So
Hmm. Like
um
so if not SEO, where are you analyzing sentiment?
stocks, like I just said.
Okay. But
Like
here
that
we're talking business. What usage is there in business?
what usage in business would be whether a brand is on the good side of people or the bad side of people right now. Right.
Hmm.
So when like Budweiser pulled that stunt, or when BMW tried to make you pay $18 a month for heated seats, or any dumb thing some company tried to pull.
Wendy's wanted to do surge pricing.
Yeah, that was real bright. And so, you could see, I mean, if you ran a BERT analysis on Wendy's during the surge pricing thing, it would be almost hilarious, right? You'd be
Hmm.
just like, nope, screw Wendy's. And so, yeah, and so you could see these models, prior to it, exploding or whatever else. And yeah, and then you would be able to move your business as such, right? So if you saw Wendy's trending into the negative space, you could, as a business owner, if I ran a fast food chain, make fun of Wendy's before, like if I had BERT analysis, I could make fun of Wendy's before it became cool to make fun of Wendy's.
Right. You'd be on the cutting edge of making fun of Wendy's.
Right. And then as it hit, and then I would be on the cutting edge of all these different things, positive or negative, based on whatever the market sentiment was. Right. And then
Could
we
you
would
use it? Yeah. Could you use it to analyze market trends? Like if you're a cookie store, find out the chocolate chip cookies are suddenly randomly déclassé. Nobody wants chocolate chip cookies anymore. They all want peanut butter or something.
I guess you could. I haven't written anything that could do that sort of thing, but yeah, I mean, from an analysis standpoint, what's the most popular ice cream flavor? What's the most popular cookie style, or style kind of cookie? What's the best
Yeah.
flavor cheesecake right now? What's the coolest thing in the market? Like, when the whole right now Korean is taking over everything. Everything is gochujang this and gochujang that, and before that it was Filipino everything, right? Everything was adobo this and adobo that. And before that, everything was, Chinese or Japanese, everything, right? And so these are the
Right now,
trends within the market, right? So
yeah.
yeah,
Right now it's all crab rangoon. Everyone's going on about crab rangoon all the time.
yeah, exactly. It's whatever you see in the market, and so you'd see what the sentiment was for a particular type of food element, and then you could get ahead of the curve if that's something you wanted. As you could do this as a writer, as a Google reviewer, as a food critic, as a recipe writer, if you wanted to write books about what's new and hot. I mean, that's where
Yeah.
you can use this kind of technology in, right?
Hmm. All right. So let's carry on here. It looks like it's talking about sentiment analysis for the next usage case. Sentiment analysis tools for audience insights. That's just what we were saying. Use
Mhm.
sentiment analysis to understand the emotions and opinions your audience has about certain topics, products, or services. This can inform the creation of content that resonates emotionally with your audience, addressing their pain points and aspirations. Benefits: creates more engaging and targeted content that is likely to elicit a positive response from your audience.
So yeah, clearly we don't read these things before we do this.
Yeah.
I did not clearly.
Hmm.
So I guess we kind of answered this already. So yeah,
Yeah.
using it for sentiment analysis is, I mean, these people use it for trading freaking stocks, so they make money with people saying good or bad things about a company. So because the market is volatile, and you can't really, it doesn't matter if the company is doing well or not doing well or whatever. It's whatever the value of the company is in the people's eyes, right? So
Yeah.
so stock moves up and down irrationally sometimes, and sometimes it's because of us, the people, right? So, and there you have it. So yeah, I agree with sentiment analysis wholeheartedly. Like, that entire company was based their trading off of sentiment analysis, and then they did well as far as I saw. So yeah.
Yeah. That's actually basically how I trade stocks as well. As I try to suss it out from a people analysis perspective. What do people think about this product? What are they likely to stay with this product or service or whatever it is or company?
Well, there's two major ways to trade, right? Fundamental versus technical analysis. And, it's the same thing as playing poker, right? You can play poker as a technical and count the number of outs you have based on what cards are showing, right? Or you
Yeah.
play it from a fundamental point of view, and you play the other person, right? And so
Mhm.
there's good and bad to be said about both sides. Obviously, in the game of poker, it's a little more skewed towards playing the person, but in stock, I mean, you could go either way, right? Fundamental versus technical, um, and come out ahead. But yeah,
I keep looking over my shoulder here because the storm has passed and the sun came out. So I'm feeling like I'm entitled to a rainbow, but I don't see one.
well, maybe you're in the eye of the storm, and maybe it's not quite.
Oh,
No,
that could be. Yeah. There we go. Actually, it does look like there's rain behind me, so maybe it's coming in.
there you go.
Anyway, so before we get washed out here, what are things to avoid with AI? Kind of ironic getting AI to tell us what's bad about you. Why do you suck?
It's like having an interview. Tell me about your strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, right. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? That would be a good one. AI. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Tell us why we shouldn't hire you.
Yeah, yeah. Do you see yourself as more of an AI overlord, or what are we looking at here? All right, things to avoid: over reliance on AI for creativity. AI can generate ideas and draft content, but it lacks the human touch that can make content genuinely engaging and relatable. Always infuse AI generated content with personal insights, stories, and a touch of human creativity to make it resonate with your audience. Human creativity, what a concept.
Yeah. Well, this goes back to your seed bank. Remember, we want to put every human idea in a bank, and then that
Yes.
way, there we go. So yeah, over reliance on AI for creativity. You still need to have that human touch because AI can't replace it just yet. But
Mhm.
there's a lot that it can do now. Like, I was just showing you that video that
Yeah.
followed my voice and my breathing and my
Yeah.
intonations and everything. It was creepy as hell. And that was a prompt, dude. I didn't write any of that. and it sounds like me, it breathes like me, it pauses like me. It's kind of scary, and it even
That
talks
was
like
30 seconds.
I gave no, it was 3 minutes on the video,
Okay.
but I
No, but I
gave it
mean,
30
you
seconds of
you
talking,
give it 30 seconds. Yeah.
and from the 30 seconds, it extrapolated how I spoke, and it made that, and it's just like holy crap. So yeah,
Wow.
there you go.
So I don't know if you explained it totally because I already knew. So, but for those listening, what was the tool called, by the way?
I forget off the top of my head. It is in video is the name.
InVideo or NVIDIA?
Yeah, in video, in video.
InVideo. So InVideo, Earl provided InVideo with 30 seconds sampling of his speaking style, his voice, and InVideo wrote the script for and provided voiceover in Earl's voice with no further input from Earl. I guess you told it what you wanted the subject to be.
Yeah, I just gave it a subject, told it I wanted about 3 minutes, and talk about this, and stick a call to action at the end, and that's all I gave it.
Wow. You didn't even say what call to action?
I said like like and subscribe, like every other traditional YouTube thing.
Smash the subscribe.
Ah, that's right.
Wow. Yeah, it's pretty creepy. Um, and I was even noticing, like I've heard, people take celebrity voices and make AI videos with them. And there's always this lack of uh humanity, yeah, the tone is always the same. Well, I think I'll come over there and then I'll go to the store and then I will go from the store to the blah blah. Like, you know what I mean? It only becomes apparent after like three or four sentences that the tone's always the same. This thing was better than what I've seen before.
Yeah, it
Like it had,
actually you have to add ums and uhs. It actually it says add ums and uhs to it as if you
right.
were just stuttering or stop or make mistakes on purpose in the voiceover sampling,
Yeah, I
so it can
noticed there was a
make like you.
I noticed there was a stutter at one point.
I stutter for real, and so there was a stutter in my voice sample, and it copied the stutter into the into the thing. I'm just yeah, blew my mind.
Oh my God.
So
But yeah, it would even sort of sound like you were leaning in sometimes and talking a little more seriously, and then a little more chill. Like you know what I mean? It's wild.
that's what the AI did, man. I don't know what to tell you. 30 seconds on a just a voice recorder on my phone. I uploaded it, and then it sounds like me now. That's kind of scary.
Yeah. So, but here we're saying to avoid over relying on it because you want to keep some human touch in there.
So yeah, you wanna interdisperse it in between, right? So you can't just rely on AI for everything. I mean, like our show, even, right? It is AI that generates the outline, but it's us that fills in the color, right? So
Yeah.
it's like the coloring book. It prints the coloring book, but you and I choose what color to paint the thing, right?
And then I color way outside the lines.
We're good with that, though.
Yeah.
That's your purpose. That's your job, right?
That's what I'm here for. I always say when I hear about people like feedback from the show, when people are like, "Oh, that show's so good, I get all these great ideas for business." I'm like, "Oh, that's Earl's side of things," and it's like, "Oh, your show's so great, it's hilarious." I'm like, "That's me.
Yes, absolutely.
I add the hilarious, or I try to."
Entertainment.
All right, so cool. So we're checking boxes as far as providing human content.
Absolutely.
Nice. All right, so what else do we avoid here? Ignoring AI's limitations and bias. AI models can inherit bias from their training data or may not fully understand the nuances of your specific niche or cultural subtleties. Be mindful of these limitations and always review and edit AI generated content to ensure it aligns with your values and the expectations of your audience.
Didn't some big brand screw something up completely by being totally insensitive about something by just using AI for stuff? I can't remember what the example
Yeah,
was.
I was telling you about that. That was sensitive content warning here. Um, KFC in Germany um, created an AI that would just celebrate every holiday. If there's a holiday on the calendar, it would wish everybody a happy whatever and post it on Twitter. And so it wished everybody a happy Kristallnacht, which for those of you who don't know was the day that the a day of violence against Jews at the early days of the Nazi regime. So that was a bit of a fail. That was a bit of a
Yeah,
fail
yeah.
on
Don't
AI's
don't
part.
let AI just run amok, wild and free at this. Yeah, So
Yeah.
limitations and bias. There you go. So yeah, absolutely. For a while, actually, I think there was the Microsoft AI and the Google AI, and it just didn't like white people.
That was the Gemini. Yeah, there was a big
Gemini? Yeah.
controversy. It was like it would sacrifice accuracy in favor of diversity. So
Yeah.
you'd
So
say provide. So someone started like, oh, show me a picture of the founding fathers of the United States, and it would make several of them black, which of course is historically inaccurate. Specifically, the founding fathers were specific people, and then people were like, wait, hang on a second, and they said, show me a German soldier from the 1940s, and it made all these black people wearing Nazi uniforms. It's like,
nope, not quite.
not a great look. Not what
No,
we're
there
going
you
for
go.
there.
So AI limitations for the win. So, realize that it's
And
not perfect.
yeah,
Right?
and that cost Google like their share prices dropped like $9 billion or something like that. Their
So
market cap.
when the BERT analysis on black Nazis, that's time to short Google for a little bit. So there you
Yeah,
go.
exactly.
Tying
Should
back
have
to the analysis.
shorted Google as soon as I saw that happening. All right, we're on to the red hot tip already. We're a little ahead of the schedule here, but yeah, short episode. Red hot tip: leverage AI for personalized content creation. Use AI to analyze customer data and behavior to create highly personalized content. For instance, AI can help segment your audience based on their interests, past interactions with your business, and purchase history, enabling you to tailor your marketing messages and offers to different segments. This level of personalization can significantly enhance the effectiveness of your content marketing efforts, making your messages more relevant and appealing to each segment of your audience.
Yeah, so I do that. I actually do that. There is another AI called EVAI, and what it does is you can respond to it's a browser plugin. There's plugins for the browser that let you it'll read people's profiles, read their message, read their post, and auto generate a response based on a persona, based on a style. So if you want to be confrontational, you want to be question, you want to be, a camaraderie type style, you want to encourage, you want to whatever, you can pick the voice and style of the answer. It'll read the thing, and if you pick controversial, it'll just take the opposite stance and just, be belligerent. And so it's kind of hilarious. So depending on how you want to play this, you can have it just read people's profiles, and it'll just it'll either agree with them or completely just destroy their position based on
And
AI.
so I missed something right at the beginning of what you said. This is for creating what social media posting.
Comments on other people's stuff,
Oh
comments on
my
other
god!
people's posts, and it is kind of hilarious.
So when I'm commenting on your hilarious memes that you share, and you respond, is that your AI program responding? How do
No,
I
because
know it's
that's on
really
that's on
Earl?
Facebook. That's on Facebook. If it's on LinkedIn, it might
Oh,
be a.
you got an AI commenting on your behalf right now.
Yeah, on LinkedIn.
Are you missing this caution that we just had a second ago? Are you human checking?
Oh yeah. It generates the suggest. I'm following the rules. It gives me a
Yeah, right.
suggestion. I have to pull the trigger. So
There's I just realized there's going to be a position created in companies now. That'll be the human verification position.
yeah, the AI checker. Hey, did
Yeah,
AI say something stupid today? Yeah. Okay. Well, let's reformat the KFC message, shall we?
right. Yeah. Um, I'm trying to think of a clever name for that. The human backstop.
There you go. That's a good name. So, what
Yeah,
position do you work in your company? I'm the backstop. Yeah.
I'm the human backstop. I'm I'll come up with a good one. The AI vetter.
Well, it comes to
Um,
that time.
what? Okay, we're gonna do it.
Yeah. Oh wait, I gotta share this. Hold on. I
Oh,
since I got kicked out of Zoom, I gotta reshare. Sorry, give me a second here.
oh yeah.
Fancy. Go back. Audio share. I got kicked out. Here we go.
Hack of the week.
Hack of the week. So the hack of the week. So this is my tomorrow will be my third time speaking about AI as a public speaking gig thing. And the thing that people don't realize, it's very meta. You have AI write the prompt for you. You can actually ask AI to write a prompt that does this. And then you can ask it to ask you questions first, so the prompt is better. So acting as a prompt engineer, write the prompt that produces this from this data set. And so what we were talking about earlier, where it was build the buyer persona, you can make a buyer persona, then you can make it write a prompt that does what you want it to do by asking it to write a prompt, and then you just copy paste the prompt, feed it back to itself, and it gives you a near perfect answer, which is kind of crazy.
So what do you say? You say, write me an AI prompt that will generate a good content message for the audience persona of overweight, middle-aged white guy or something like that. Is that
Yeah,
what
you
you're
can
saying?
totally do that, but you can get even more specific. Give me 10 Instagram reel ideas of 30-second scripts and write the script for me based on the persona above, and give me the appropriate hashtags to put in the thing. And format this as a table, and it does.
So, but that's you're giving it the prompt there. You're saying to have it write the prompt.
So you give it a persona and you have it generate the persona.
Okay.
Then you give it a prompt to write a prompt that does this.
Does so in that case, if you're trying to get the AI, they're trying to get the TikTok reels. What's the
Sure.
prompt Yeah. What do you say?
So here, I actually have it. Hold on. I had the
Okay.
slide up a second ago. Give me 1 second here. And I can find it. Because I'm speaking about this tomorrow, so I should probably have it handy.
Yeah, you
So
should probably figure out somewhere. Where are you speaking, by the way?
I can't remember the name of the group, but it's posted on LinkedIn. So
Oh, okay.
here's the
Is it
prompt.
it's an in-person thing, or are you doing
No, it's on Zoom because it's international.
oh, okay.
So here's the prompt. Acting as a prompt engineer, please
Yeah.
construct a prompt that will do X with Y information. Do not write the prompt right away. Please first ask me between 3 to 5 questions in order to learn more about my business or the target market, and then create a better final answer. So
Good Lord.
it's inception. It's the prompt that writes the prompt. And before that, the persona prompt, for those of you who are just paying attention, it's help me create a buyer persona based on the following. I am a wherever you live, city, country, based, whatever you do. My clients work in the whatever your client space is. So if I'm running this for you, Dan, I would go, I am a web designer based in Vancouver. My clients work in the small business arena, typically in the retail or business to consumer niche or arena. Their business generates, and you put a number there, like $500,000 to $1 million in business annually. And here's where the creepy part starts. Identify their wants, needs, hopes, fears, beliefs, values, brand affinities, which I thought was neat.
Hmm.
Jobs to be done at work and home, pain points, things they avoid doing, which I thought was really hilarious. Negative outcomes they're avoiding, and what they spend too much time or money on. Identify any opportunities as it relates to services I might be able to provide, but don't limit it to just that, and format it in the table. So you use that prompt to form a persona, then you use another prompt to write the prompt for what you want it to do at the end, and then you copy paste that prompt and then feed it back to itself and starts generating magic. And it's just crazy after that. It's just we're living in the matrix now at this point. So
I hope everybody at home has that. Well, I guess if you're watching this on YouTube later, you can watch that 5 or 6 times so you can understand all the layers that Earl just went through. Because I'm sure as hell lost. But
I'll paste it in the comments, and people can have it in the comments, and I'll post the prompt there so you can just have it and do what you will with it. But
that's a great idea. I just might steal that.
I for one, say salute the new AI overlords because they're doing a lot of the heavy lifting these days.
Did you come up with that prompt, or is that some kind of thing that's out there in the universe?
I came up with a portion of it and I mixed it together with other cover. So I Frankenstein it together from a couple different bits.
Hmm.
So there
Good.
you go.
The real genius is steel, right?
Yeah, well, I got a lot of the persona prompt from the future, Chris Doe, when he was in Vancouver. So he gave us this
The
prompt.
Sorry, the future, like the literal future.
Oh, his handle is the future,
Oh,
FUT,
okay.
right? And so his show, his channel is all called The Future. Anyway, so props to Chris for that initial chunk of prompt, and then I kind of started fudging with it to make it put out what I wanted to put out. But no, it's kind of crazy what these things can do now. So anywho, yeah. So you moosh that together with the prompt that makes the prompt, and magic pops out.
Bada bing, as they say.
Yeah, there you go. So,
Okay, I think my head is full of ideas now, and I can't carry on. Steam is shooting out of my ears.
so we're gonna call it. I'll play this out.
Plays that. All right, so I'll just say thank you, AI, for providing the doing the heavy lifting today. Thank you, Earl, for the brilliant ideas, and thank you everyone for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks everybody for coming out, and thanks AI for analyzing yourself. There you go. It's its own test.
Introspection. This guy,
Absolutely.
little Bert right here. Hey,
good job, Bert. We're gonna
he's
stick
Italian. Hey, come on, I'm creating content here.
Here you go.
Thanks for listening to Earl and the Idiot. We hope you learned something you can take action on this week. For more information or to contact the show, visit earlandtheidiot.com. And until next time, remember what Shakespeare said. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool.
Bye, everybody.